So this is going to be the story of the time the old man, Dennis Zogelman, one of the times he got taken to jail for drunk driving. This one's kind of funny, a little bit comical, how it came about. So, living in Hayesville, this happened in, I'm going to say it was 1977, 78, something like that. I don't know where he came from. I don't know if he left the bar. I don't know where he was at, what he was doing. He was with a guy was riding with him in the pickup, in the old man's pickup. Danny Brown, one of the drinking buddies, dopehead guy type. Anyways, so they were heading south on 231 from Hayesville, heading towards Jasper. And they're going down the road in the daytime. And they get up toward where the church is now, and has been for a long time, through Opal Bottom and going up the hill. So they get going up the hill here to get up on the flat part. It's a no passing zone. And behind the old man's pickup, here comes a woman in a car, and she's going to pass them. She's going south as well. But there's a car coming. And the old man sees they're not going to make it. There's not enough room. So I guess he probably let his foot off the gas and probably got on the brake a little bit. And to try to keep them from having a head-on wreck, the old man turns the steering wheel and goes off the road down over this bank, like right here. It's a pretty steep bank. He goes down over that into a guy's yard. There's a house right in there, and he goes into the guy's yard. At the time, I think it was mowed more. You can't really see the yard here. It's grown up. But it had rained for a few days before. The yard was muddy. I don't know who called the cops. I don't know if a cop just happened by. I don't know if somebody called. The guy who lived there, I don't think he was mad about it. The woman who was illegally passing, she came back. So she's there. And he didn't hit anything. He didn't hit a tree. He didn't hit anything. He was just in the guy's yard. But it was over down that steep bank. It's a really... it's a wonder it didn't flip over. But nothing was hurt. And he could have drove out through the guy's yard. But he would have left ruts in it because it was soft. So he decided, well, he'll just get a farmer up the road here, a Mars Hof, to come out with a tractor. I don't know if they called on the phone. I don't know how this was all set up. But anyways, Mars comes out with his tractor. He pulls the old man's truck up out of the back onto the road. Anyways, it was either the sheriff or a deputy. Dubois County sheriff is there. They got the truck out. The woman who more or less ran him off the road or illegally tried to pass, she's there. So, and the deputy or sheriff or whatever, he's like, yeah, everything looks good. We're okay. Nobody's hurt. You're good to go. Well, right about the time that they were getting ready to leave, a fucking Indiana State cop shows up. So he gets to sniffing around. And he says to the old man, "Hey, I think you've been drinking." Well, he probably had a cooler of beer on the back. I mean, he always did. So the old man gets arrested for drunk driving in a thing that wasn't even his fault. And the woman told the cops, she said, it's my fault. I tried to pass when I shouldn't have. I don't know if she got any ticket or anything. So the old man tries to keep people from having a head-on wreck, takes the ditch, which is this very steep bank down in the guy's yard. So, he did a good thing. But then he ends up going to jail. And Danny and the woman who illegally passed, they go back to Hayesville to the bar to have drinks. So while the old man goes to jail. So, kind of funny, kind of comical. But, no good deed goes unpunished, right? Well, I guess they went back up to the tavern that was owned by Carl Gibson. So the story got around that what happened with the old man that day. Well, that night, probably about 10 o'clock, me and Mom were sitting at home. I don't know how we found out he was in jail. I don't know if he called or I don't know how it came about. But everybody in the tavern knew about it before we did, of course. And so Carl Gibson comes down in one of his antique cars that night to get me and Mom to drive us out there and show us where this happened. I don't know why we needed to know this, but I remember being in that car, and I was just a little boy, and driving out there in the dark, and Carl pointing out, yeah, this is where he ran right over the bank right there. So the Barroom Gossip News Network had sorted all this out before we knew about it in Hayesville. Yeah.